Two men in a truck. The men hoped for a short job, but had no such luck. As they looked over their med sheet, they realized real quick, to finish this job on time, they'd need the help of St. Nick. 175 items, we'll be at this all day. If we miss Christmas Eve dinner, there will be hell to pay. They fueled up the truck and were gone in a flash, as they prayed to the gods for a tip paid in cash. The men peered from their windows at this horrible sight, for the house sat atop what seemed like 10 flights. It might not have been 10, but there's bushes and branch. They got Tom on the phone. You said this was a ranch. Tom said, I've got no more men, and that was no joke. But he'll keep his phone on him while he goes for a smoke. The men looked at the steps all broken and bent. They jumped out of the cab and began their ascent. As they finished the walkthrough and devised a game plan, the driver sent the others back down to the van. They patted and wrapped all the pieces with care. The customer did nothing but stand there and stare. When from up in the bedroom, there arose such a clatter. Then Jordan yelled out, the dresser mirror just shattered.
I love it.
He thought to himself, the customer's gonna flip. Then Daryl walked in and said, man, you're messing with my tip. They all asked him if he got a release on the glass. Daryl just said, chill, man, I got this, relax. The customer stormed up the stairs in a huff. He said, what are you doing? You're breaking my stuff. The men said, it was an accident. We meant you no harm. The mirror just slipped right out of his arm. The customer stomped on the floor with all of his might. Then Santa Claus showed up and said, Yin's guy's doing all right. The men said, old St. Nicholas, thank God you were here. He said, don't be. I just dinged your truck with my flying reindeer. Doug looked at the clock. We're behind on this load. Then Santa rolled up his sleeves and said, it's time for beast mode. The boxes all grew legs and lined up in pairs. They all started walking themselves down the stairs. They hopped in the truck with great Christmas cheer. The elves began to celebrate with a shot and a beer. The truck was all loaded and barely past noon. It looks like Santa showed up not a moment too soon. They said, Santa, thank you, you're a heck of a guy. He then invited them over for some eggnog and pie. They said, Santa, we'd love to. We're not done with this job. He said, don't worry, my elves can finish moving this slob. They said, Santa, we can't. We might get spot checked. Plus, the elves don't have med cards and their backgrounds are suspect. They got in their truck and they said their goodbye. With a snap of the reins, Santa's sleigh, it did fly. And they heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, make sure you pack that truck right.
Yeah.